Now, we've called centering prayer the divine therapy, so that the primary actor in this process is the Holy Spirit or Jesus or Christ within us, depending on one's devotion and at this time in one's life, that too shifts as the Spirit touches up or completes the integrity or comprehensiveness or context of our spiritual journey, with a point here and there that we may have not developed adequately yet or seen in the case of. So this is the place, although it's not restricted to this place, where the night of sense definitely begins. So centering prayer leads you almost automatically into that process, which has to be understood in fairly broad terms, especially with folks living the disruptive kind of life that usually attends most experiences of it. So this night of sense is precisely this becoming aware of the dark side of our personality, or the shadow side, or more technically, of the movements of the emotional programs for happiness that we said is the development number one of the separate self sense. And while these are values all through life, but especially in early childhood, it's the exaggeration of them that sets us on a path of distortion, and which brings habits of defensiveness, frustration, with accompanying afflictive emotions depending on the circumstances and the events and one's temperamental or personality predispositions. Here is where the Enneagram, or whatever one's understanding of one's personality or temperamental preferences or biases may be, come to consciousness, and it could be helpful to give them some thought in daily life. Most people, without this spiritual practice comparable to centering prayer, are so absorbed in the details of life and the automatic or habitual pursuit of their programs for happiness, involving security, power control, affection, esteem, and the opposites if they're lacking. These are constantly scratching or piercing or poking at the soul and evacuating whatever peace we might have. And so it's essential for the spiritual journey to deal with these psychological problems. And that's why I don't think it's a bad idea to call it the divine therapy, because it's a very profound and searching way of being, becoming aware of our unconscious. And you could pay a lot of money to do this. God, of course, graciously not only offers it for free, but spends a lot of time trying to persuade us to submit to this healing. Now, it's redemption is another word for it in the broad sense of the word. It's preparing us for the engagement with Christ, for the marriage with Christ, for the unity and union beyond Christ, and for ultimate oneness with that which is, and the capacity to not only live the divine life, but to enjoy it to the full, even in the midst of a significant amount of difficulty and suffering, if you're still in this world, which is definitely going to happen.